I binged the entirety of Jobless Reincarnation, and here's what I have to say. Or I guess my review of the show and its characters from it. Possible spoilers for the show, I've warned you. Now, I know that every anime YouTuber has posted a video on this anime, and the title of their videos are basically the same, but there's good reasoning to it. Jobless Reincarnation is one of those stereotypical isekai animes where the main character is a lazy bum who dies and gets transported to another world. But instead of being one of those shows where the main character is spending all his time in the Adventurers Guild, he is instead born into a family where his dad is a master swordsman and his mother is a mage. But he's also basically Kazuma from Konosuba, aka horny on main. Not really the same as Kazuma, but Ryudu's, I'm going to call him Rudy for this video, but Rudy is actually useful because he learns how to do magic and later becomes a top tier mage. He learns slow and steadily as you would riding a bike or picking up a new hobby. Learning from some books he found in a chest in his bedroom, he starts with basic magic, like summoning a water ball from his hand, and later learning how to launch it. He goes from this to being able to cast lightning from the sky. How he does this, you may ask? He gets the help of my favorite character from the show, Roxy. Roxy is basically Rudy's sensei, teaching him how to use his magical powers he learned in his bedroom from reading magic books. Now, before I say anything else about Roxy, we don't lewd Roxy here. And if you do, you're being sent to the boiler room of hell, coming from an atheist. Now I feel bad for Roxy, because since Rudy has the mind of a 34-year-old hentai addict, Roxy gets her pencils stolen all the time, and basically teased and taunted by Rudy daily. But it gets worse, and we see that as the season progresses. And who can forget this scene of Roxy? Yeah. After Roxy leaves, we get an introduction to a new love interest, an elf-looking girl named Sylphiette or Sylph. Now, Rudy at first doesn't know that Sylph is a girl and thinks that Sylph is a guy because of her short hair. And you know how in anime, when a character gets rained on, they usually take a bath so they don't get sick for whatever reason? Yeah, so now Sylph and Rudy are in the same room naked, and then it cuts to Sylphie screaming, and cuts to a new scene, and we see Rudy and his dad in the bath together. Rudy and Sylph later make up, and Rudy shows Sylph how to do magic. Rudy wants to keep Sylph by his side and safe, so he asks his dad to pay for 2 tuitions to the magic academy that Roxy suggested Rudy go to. His dad refuses, and then Rudy asks his dad for a job. That's when we get introduced to Ghislaine Didoldia. Ghislaine Didoldia. Ghislaine Didoldia. Hot wolf with big donker. With the introduction of Hot Lady Wolf, we get introduced to the new love interest. Woo. We get introduced to Eris Boreas, Grey Rat. And we totally haven't seen this stereotypical tsundere redhead lolly before in an anime, right? Torador. But actually, Eris becomes more and more likable as the anime goes on, even if she is annoying at first. And while we're on the topic of Eris, I'd like to point out something they did during the outro. They did Eris dirty, bro. Just look at this. Tell me she doesn't look like she had about 3 full-size cakes before this. Teach Eris to respect Rudy. He sets up a hostage situation where the both of them get taken away and Rudy has to bust them out. So now Eris respects him and it's time for the training arc. Woo! They go into town and go around the market with the hot lady wolf, of course. And they find this bottle of something. And we get this wonderful scene. The training arc ends with Eris's 10th birthday, and Eris doesn't know how to dance, but she can use a sword really well. And those two are close enough to Rudy. So he teaches Eris how to dance on the spot like she was dodging sword attacks. And now Rudy and Eris are the stars of the show. Rudy gives wands to Eris and Hot Lady Wolf, and they're now official magic users. 2 years pass and it's time for Rudy's 10th birthday. He gets a staff, almost adopted, and a marriage proposal to Eris. 2 of those are false, or he doesn't accept. I'll let you interpret which. After the party comes to a close, Rudy goes to his room and we get to see this lovely lolicon scene with Eris. And I was very uncomfortable watching this, but it added to the plot drastically. And I'm not talking about the plot. I'm talking about the actual storyline. It's finally time for Eris and Hot Lady Wolf to graduate. So they go out to a field and learn the most powerful move that Rudy can do. But this ball of mana in the sky said nope and sent Rudy and Eris to the demon continent. There, Rudy has a dream with a god in his 34-year-old ugly bastard form. And the god is like, help this man out. But he doesn't mention the man is a guy from a tribe that murdered a bunch of people and that Roxy even warned Rudy of. But Rudy does help him because he saved him and Eris. So now they go on a journey through the demon land and we meet Dead End. Dead End is just another way to say the guy that helped out Rudy. He has a literal third eye. Dead End also shows Roxy's home village because apparently Roxy is a demon, and he showed them one of the main cities. Since Dead End, or Superdia Ujerd, is part of this weird clan, he can just change the color of his hair to blue and it's unrecognizable. So then they start doing jobs from the Adventurers Guild, and Rudy is failing to be the main character. He's too focused on making sure Eris is fine and gets home safe that he actually loses 2 side characters to an anaconda in a petrified forest. So they do this really big commission, and then after, they get blackmailed. So Dead End finally shows his true identity. They flee the town and have a heartwarming session. Then the season ends. But Roxy is coming to save Rudy and Eris from the demon continent. Overall, the show is really good. The animation, plot progression, amount of fan service, this show has everything you could want. Also, the visuals in this anime are godly. Literal movie tier. I would rate this show a 9 out of 10. The reason I'm not wanting to rate it a 10 out of 10 is because they left off on an 11 episode season, a cliffhanger, and the main character is a bit too ecchi. But besides that, this show is good. Anyway, that's all I got. I'll see you in the next one.
Attack on Titan, Tokyo Ghoul. These hentai babes make me drool. Hatsune Miku is great. She makes me masturbate. Fairy Tale, Soul Eater.